8 signs you're secretly getting rich even if you don't feel it. Picture this. You're scrolling through Instagram and your college roommate just posted photos from their 3rd international vacation this year. They're driving a brand new luxury SUV. Their apartment looks like something out of an interior design magazine. And then there's you, sitting in your place, driving your 5-year-old car, wondering if somehow you're falling behind. But here's the truth nobody tells you. That person might be completely broke, and you, the one feeling behind, might actually be winning the financial game in ways you can't even see yet. Because wealth, real wealth, rarely looks the way you think it does. Welcome to what I call the wealth illusion, where the people who look the richest often aren't, and the people who are quietly building wealth are almost completely invisible. Today, we're breaking down 8 specific signs that you are becoming wealthy, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. And pay close attention to sign number 6, because it's the one almost nobody talks about, but it's where real financial freedom actually begins. So let's get into it. Sign number 1. You've created a gap between what you earn and what you spend. And more importantly, that gap is growing. This sounds simple, almost too simple. Spend less than you make. Everyone knows that, right? But here's what most people don't realize. This is where almost everyone fails. It doesn't matter if someone earns $50,000 a year or $500,000 a year. Most people expand their lifestyle to match their income, or worse, they spend more than they earn. Now imagine 2 people. Same job, same salary, same opportunities. One spends less than they earn, the other spends more. At first, the difference is invisible, but over time, that gap becomes everything. Because that gap doesn't just sit there, it gets invested, it compounds, it turns into options, flexibility, and eventually, freedom. Now here's where it gets psychological. Your brain adapts to whatever lifestyle you're living. What once felt like enough starts to feel small. You look around, you compare, you upgrade, and just like that, the gap disappears. The people who quietly build wealth understand something most people don't. They define what enough means for themselves. Not based on social media, not based on coworkers, not based on what looks impressive, but based on long-term outcomes. They play an internal game, not an external one. And that single shift changes everything. So here's a simple question. Right now, is your money building a gap or closing one? Because that answer alone tells you exactly where you stand. Now, sign number 2. You've stopped thinking in months and started thinking in decades. This is one of the biggest shifts that separates people who stay stuck from people who quietly build wealth. Most people think short term. Can I afford this right now? What does my bank account look like this week? Should I buy this today? But wealth builders think differently. They ask, where will this decision put me 10, 15, 20 years from now? And this is where something powerful starts to happen. Compounding. At first, it feels slow, almost pointless. You invest money and barely see any meaningful growth. But then, something changes. Years pass, and suddenly, the numbers don't just grow, they accelerate. What looked small becomes significant. What felt slow becomes unstoppable. But here's the catch. You only get those results if you stay consistent, and most people don't, because they react. The market drops, they panic, they sell, they wait, they try to time the perfect moment, and they lose more than they gain. But long-term thinkers, they don't play that game. They stay consistent. They keep investing. They understand something simple. Time in the market matters more than timing the market. And that mindset quietly separates them from everyone else. Now here's something important. If you're serious about long-term wealth, structure matters. Because consistency is hard without a system. That's why many people move towards structured portfolios and automated investing so they don't have to rely on willpower. If that's something you're trying to build, I've linked a simple system below that can help you set that up. Now, sign number 3. You've built a financial cushion, and you don't talk about it. No posts, no announcements, no signals. Just quiet stability. And that cushion does more than protect your money. It protects your decisions. Because when you don't have a cushion, everything feels urgent. Every expense becomes stressful. Every decision feels high stakes. You're reacting instead of thinking. But when you have that buffer, something shifts. You slow down. You think clearly. You make better choices. Because you're not operating from pressure. And that alone can change your entire financial trajectory. Now, sign number 4. Your income goes up, but your lifestyle stays mostly the same. This is one of the clearest signs that someone has truly internalized wealth-building principles, because most people don't do this. They upgrade.
Bigger home, better car, more spending. It feels natural. You worked for it, so you spend it. But here's the problem. If your income increases and your spending increases at the same rate, nothing actually changes. You're just living a more expensive version of the same life. Wealth builders do something different. They upgrade selectively, but they invest aggressively. They treat income increases as leverage, not permission. And over time, that difference compounds into something massive. Because it's not about one raise. It's about what happens across 10, 15, 20 years. Now, sign number 5. You've stopped comparing yourself to other people. Or at least, it doesn't control your decisions anymore. And this is huge, because comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy wealth. Social media shows you the best parts of everyone else's life, but it hides the reality. Debt, payments, financial stress. What looks like wealth is often just leverage. And when you truly understand that, something changes. You stop chasing appearances. You stop trying to match other people. You build your own definition of success. And that makes you almost immune to one of the most powerful spending triggers that exists. Now, sign number 6. Money has become background noise in your life. This is the one I told you to watch for. Because this is where things start to feel different. Not because you're rich, but because your system is working. Your bills are handled. Your investments are happening. Your financial life runs without constant attention. And what that creates is something incredibly valuable: mental space. Because when money isn't constantly stressing you out, you think better, you work better, you live better. And this is why many people at this stage start using automated systems. Because they remove friction. They remove decision fatigue. They let your financial life run in the background. If that's where you want to get to, I've linked a tool below that can help you build that kind of system. Now, sign number 7. You've started valuing your time more than small amounts of money. This is a major shift. Because early on, saving money is everything. But later, time becomes more valuable. Because money can be earned again, time cannot. And once you start seeing it that way, your decisions change. You stop asking, how much does this cost? And start asking, is this worth my time? And that shift changes how you live. Now, sign number 8. You've taken full ownership of your financial life. This is the hardest one, because it requires you to stop blaming circumstances. Not because circumstances don't matter, they do. But because ownership is the only thing that creates change. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, you say, that's not a priority right now. Instead of waiting for things to improve, you start acting with what you have. And that shift is what separates people who stay stuck from people who move forward. So let's bring this all together. If you see even a few of these signs in your life, you're not behind, you're building. Quietly. Consistently, and in ways that most people will never fully understand. Because real wealth doesn't look flashy. It doesn't announce itself. It shows up as peace of mind, control, freedom, and options. So if you're on this path, keep going. Because even if it doesn't feel like much right now, you're building something that compounds. And over time, that changes everything. If you found this valuable, hit the like button. And if you want to go deeper, I've linked some tools and systems below that can help you automate and grow your finances without constant effort. And if you're serious about building real long-term wealth, make sure you subscribe. Because in the next video, I'm going to break down exactly how to build a portfolio that protects your money while still growing it over time. I'll see you there.
Most people will watch this and go right back to the same habits. A small percentage will take action and quietly change their financial future. Decide which one you are. If you're choosing growth, like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe. Because this channel is built for people who care about real progress, not visible success.